welcome to Evolution in Controls. I'm your host, Tim Wilson. Thank you for joining us. When we talk about technology, we think about advancements, about the pace of change, of the new things that have never been done before or that we've never been able to do before. It's an exciting topic as we look at applications done in new ways or for applications that have never been done. What we don't generally think about, though, is the cost of the misapplications of that technology. When the cost of failure is low, the risk is low. You can simply try again. Build a new cardboard box if you built a bad one. But what about when the risk of failure is measured in human lives? There are industries that need new technology to build things upon which people trust their very lives. The aerospace industry is such an industry. Simply put, there is no room for error. So when aerospace companies look at new technology to help them build their products, they look for those with experience already in their possession. Safety, precision, reliability, these are characteristics that experience has taught and which cannot be compromised away. Today we are joined by Mr. John Jackson, Business Development Manager at Evolution Motion, and he's here to talk about their Aerospace Dedicated Solutions Group. John, thanks for joining us.
Thanks, Tim.
So you've been with us here on Evolution in Controls before, but why don't you tell us a little about yourself? How long have you been with Evolution?
I am pushing 6 years with Evolution. I was hired as the systems salesperson, but the main focus is the aerospace marketplace, which is broken into three segments. There's the true aerospace, which is the big rocket manufacturers. There's aeronautical, which is the large airplane manufacturers. Then there's the military aerospace, which is same technologies, just in a military environment.
So why do we have a dedicated group? Is there an advantage to that?
Yes, there's not that much competition in this marketplace that people go after. There is a very unique setting. It's not like automotive where you have fixed tooling with safeties built in. The aerospace it has to be very movable.
Custom.
It's custom. It's a one-off. There's a one-off nature to it, and there's a unique safety aspect of it that you need to have the proper experience to do.
We're not focusing on things that go into the air, are we?
No, we are strictly on the ground. Where the category is referred to as GSE, which is ground services and equipment, and anybody in the aerospace market knows that world. We're basically assisting in the assembly of the aircraft.
So we're building manufacturing tools. Is that?
We're doing control systems for manufacturing tools.
Okay. All right. How long has Evolution been involved in this industry?
The legacy company started about 20 years ago.
Okay.
And has done quite a bit of work, and most of that was in the aeronautical world.
Right.
But there was a pretty lengthy...
Aeronautical is airplanes,
Airplanes,
right?
Yep.
And we're not putting stuff on airplanes, but we're helping the construction
Correct.
of airplanes.
There's a lot of interaction with AGVs type equipment, custom AGVs, and you're moving large parts around to facilitate the assembly of an airplane.
So when one of these names, I'm guessing that we would all recognize, when one of these companies comes to us, what are they looking for? How is there a problem that they can't figure out? Is it a new program?
Generally, it's there's two types of projects. There are the problems where they need to fix it, but most of our work is for the new programs. So we will work hand in hand. Our customer is one of the here in Michigan. There's 5 aerospace machine builders that do all of this work. So they bring the controls segment of it to us. Rexroth has built a real solid reputation in this marketplace, so we, with Evolution being the largest distributor, we...
Do they come to us because of Rexroth, or is there some other reason?
I think it's the experience. The experience that we've created over the 20 years is...
What I talked about in my introduction.
Yep. You don't want to bring a new company into this because they're going to stumble. And we avoid the stumbling by a pretty lengthy and detailed engineering concept review, design review, and these companies insist on that.
So they come to us at the beginning of a new program or project, and what do? We sit down, we start
First
working.
of all, they'll generally have a statement of work for us, so we know what the ask is.
All right.
Okay, so that's our starting point, and then
We don't have to help them design that, discover that. They know what they want.
they know what they want. They're not quite sure how to do it.
All right.
So that's where we have the Motioneer team here is a very useful tool. In this, we sit down with our Motioneers and
That's Evolution's conceptual engineering group.
correct.
Okay.
And we'll tell them what it is. They will come up with a concept, and we'll have a back and forth with our customer, the machine builder. And here's what we're proposing. What do you like? What do you want changed? And we go back and forth to the point where we will have a solution for them. And we're not even awarded the work yet, but we give them that concept.
Really?
And they use it in their proposals every time. So
are we working with both the airplane manufacturers and their
correct.
suppliers?
Like right now, we have a large project underway, and there's weekly meetings with both the manufacturer, airplane manufacturer, and the line builder in very detailed process. These programs generally take well over a year from start to finish, and so it's very well thought out by the time we're implementing in the field.
And we've got our engineering heavily involved in that process.
Correct. We start with our concept engineering, then the next step generally is hardware engineering, which is the electrical hardware. We design all that.
Are we building the whole machine? You mentioned earlier the controls. We're not building the whole machine?
No, we are only building the control system.
Okay. All right. So can you give us an example of a couple of things that we've done?
Yes, the one of the large airplane manufacturers, we developed what's called a CIRC stand for, and it's a CIRC, C-I-R-K.
Okay.
I'm sorry, C-I-R-C.
Okay.
Stands, and what it does is facilitates the assembly of the large plane. And the fuselage is in three pieces. The stand is used to there's 4 different levels. Workers can be on every one of the levels in working on generally on the exterior of the plane. And then also we facilitate the riveting of the fuselage together.
So do you mean that there are 4 stories in this?
4 stories, yes.
How big a stand are we talking about?
40 feet tall, 60 feet wide, and 50 foot deep.
Good grief. And it's movable?
Movable, and it weighs well over 100,000 pounds. There's a drive system that is provided by the airplane manufacturer that will drive it. We have to facilitate it. We drive it in a lowered position. There's 32 servos on this each one of the stands. There's 4 stands per aircraft. So the
4 of these stands
there's
per
2,
aircraft.
2 forward, 2 aft.
And each stand has 32 servos on it.
Correct.
And what are the servos driving?
They're one of the applications. It would remind you of a small diving board off the edge of them. There's 30 of these, and they go to the contour of the plane, so a person can safely stand.
So each diving board would extend to a different dimension. Is that based on the contour of the plane?
Yes. There's a 2-inch gap.
And there's four levels of this
Yes.
that people are on simultaneously?
Yes. And the other, the large servos are used to lift. Each level will lift independently of each other. As they're building the plane, after the fuselage is riveted together, they have to install the landing gear. Mm-hmm. So we have to back the stands out, raise them 64 inches, and then move it back in and continue the work. But so it's a very flexible piece of automation. And so that, like I said, there's 4. The 2 stands on each end are joined over top of the plane, so you can walk from one to the other, and they're linked via Ethernet. So
And somebody else is building the mechanics of that, and we supply the control system.
Correct.
Control includes safety.
Safety, it's a PLC with all the Rexroth servos, and there's a pretty elaborate safety mechanism. But being mobile, there's no fence line around this tool, so there's a lot of thought that has to be put into moving this, and we work with the airplane manufacturer safety team. That's one of the steps in the process. Make sure this is good. This is safe for us to work on.
Give me another example.
Another example.
That sounds huge. That's massive.
It is. That's probably the biggest system that we do here. We could do bigger, but that's the one that we've built two, and we got a third one on the way late in the fourth quarter of this year. Okay. The other one is there's a spaceship that goes in the top of a large rocket, and it could not fold its own wings in on Earth because of its gravity. Once it's in space,
the wings are movable.
The wings are movable. So to get on the rocket, they have to fold the wings in, and then once it's launched, and once it's out of Earth's gravity, it can fold its own wings. So it goes back and forth to the International Space Station. It's a very elaborate cargo vessel for taking goods back and forth. And it's a part of the new space station project.
We didn't put nothing that we supplied goes on that.
No. Correct.
What we supplied helps it?
It helps to get ready for launch.
Okay.
Yes. And we did another project there where we can take the ship from a horizontal position, go vertical with it. We help. A crane will lift it all the way up and install it on the rocket. We are there on site at Kennedy Space Center until 16 days before launch. When they fuel it and put it up there, we're done till it comes back. So one of the things that we talk about, you've been with us before. We talk about the future, what the future looks like. Where do you see your group headed in the next 3 to 5 years? The epicenter of this whole marketplace is in Huntsville, Alabama. I've learned that over the last 2 years with our
and we've not operated there before?
We have not operated there before, but every name that you've heard of in the aerospace marketplace is in Huntsville.
And we're covering that geography because of the merger of the two legacy companies that made Evolution Motion Solutions, right?
Yes, the merger gave me the access to people from our new brother company, sister company, that are stationed down there and have contacts, and so I see it as a huge growth opportunity. I'm actually going to be traveling with one of the line builders in Michigan, who's a large player down there in that marketplace. But so over the next month, we're gonna be doing that, and I compare it to the Silicon Valley of aerospace.
So you keep a bag packed at home.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right.
Yes.
John, that sounds very exciting. Thanks so much for coming by to talk to us about your aerospace dedicated solutions group. I appreciate it.
Thanks, Tim.
To learn more about Evolution Motion Solutions, visit evolutionmotion.com. Don't forget to subscribe to Evolution in Controls on whatever platform you use for podcasts or on YouTube for a video version so you can be updated when we release new episodes. Thank you again for joining us. I'm Tim Wilson, and remember, keep moving.